Everyone, today I want to talk about the importance of parental acknowledgement, what every child needs to hear from the parents. Me specifically is what I would have loved to have heard from my dad while growing up. Let me tell you about my dad now. My dad is the greatest dad in the world. I can rock up to his house at any moment. He will drop everything that he was doing. He will sit down, his face would light up, would talk about life, marriage, kids, schools, and everything that's on our heart. And every time I'm about to leave, he makes effort to tell me that, son, I'm proud of you and I love you. Growing up, I remember attending the best schools, living in the best houses, going to school or university in the best cars. I remember us traveling and we even stayed in America for quite some time. My dad is highly educated. He holds he holds many degrees, a few master's degrees and then a few MBAs. So for a man of his caliber to tell me that he's proud of me really means the world to me and really makes me happy. Growing up, it wasn't always like this. My dad worked very hard for him to basically provide everything materially that we needed. And he didn't have time to know what was happening behind the scenes. I mean, he didn't know that I didn't like school and that I was anxious most of the time that I went to school. Because of this, my grades throughout my high school weren't great. My parents thought I was an A student, an A and B student, but meanwhile I was actually a D and E student. But I was able to I was able to change the symbols on my report card to A and B. So throughout my high school career, they didn't know that I was D and E students until matric time came. Told that, hey, your son is not doing great. Obviously, my dad was not happy with me at that moment, but he decided to take me to extra lessons, and I was able to pass my matric and got an exemption into university. My dad always wanted me to follow his career path. And my dad is an IT technologist, so he wanted me to study BCom IT. But because of my marks, I could only do a foundation to BA. And for the past 2 years, man, I struggled at Wits University. And Wits eventually pushed me over the edge. I was academically excluded from Wits. I remember going home, telling my dad that I didn't want to study anymore and that I wanted to go and work and, learn more about business. And obviously my dad didn't take this well. He supported me while I worked for quite some time, but I could tell most of the time that he was not happy with me. I think at the age of 27, I decided to open a cleaning business. My dad was really not happy with me. My dad and I basically stopped communicating. And I remember starting that business, running that business, and most of the time, my dad would call me. He would say how unhappy he was of my career choices. And I remember, I think for the 10 years, my dad and I did not speak. A few years ago, there was a party at my sister's house. I think my dad had now stopped working and started a business which he had called me to come and assist him set up, which was an internet cafe. At my sister's party, he told me that, hey son, I'm proud of you. With all the degrees and masters and MBAs that I have, you are able to do more than what I could do. You are able to start a business, grow it, and overcome challenges that come with the business. And he said he couldn't. When he had told me that at that moment, I shed a tear because growing up, my dad was never that kind of person who would have told you that, he loved you and that he was proud of you. Close friends, most of them share the same feeling that I've had, that, you could never do enough to please them. I mean, if you get a 70%, I would ask, where's the rest of it? Where's the 30%? To a point now, I see some of them are still struggling in life because they've never had that acknowledgement from their dad. Even though they got successful careers right now, they still feel that they want to hear from their dad that, you know what, I'm proud of you and you're doing well. I have 4 kids now, 3 boys, 1 girl. I take every opportunity to take them out. As most of you guys have seen, I'm quite an adventurous person. I take them go-karting, I take them bike riding, I take them to bounce, I take them wherever. And I've realized that every time I'm with them, they always are seeking for my attention. Daddy, look. Daddy, look. Daddy, look. Daddy, see what I'm doing. Daddy, see I can climb. Daddy, see I've overcome my fear of heights. Daddy, see I'm scared of that. Daddy, I'm doing this. Daddy, you know that. So they've been able to open up to me, and every now and then where I can share a word of wisdom for them to overcome certain challenges, I do it. And every time I can express my love to them, either by hugging them, by telling them, well done, you're going to do great. I make effort to acknowledge that as well. And every now and then they tell me, hey dad, I want to be a pilot. Hey dad, I want to be a soccer player. Uh, for the rest of the two, I don't know where they want to be yet, but um, I'm supportive of their career choices in whatever they do. And I just want to give a message for every child who has never received acknowledgement from their fathers. I just want to tell you that they are proud of you. The era that our parents, especially our fathers, grew up in didn't allow them to express their feelings. As long as they provided shelter, food, and education, and now that you're grown and they've got a good career, they feel that they've done their part. So I just want to tell you that if my dad can tell me that he's proud of you, I'm sure your father somewhere is thinking the same, but just don't have the ability to say that they love and that they're proud of your achievements.